Like right now, we're doing a book club. I mean, that's a reading and language arts teacher. And who thought I'd be in a book club with a bunch of boys?
Welcome to the Landscape Cafe, brought to you with support from Fort Myers Garden Service, maintaining and protecting business and residential landscapes. Visit fortmyersgardenservice.com or call 239-990-7494.
I love the people on our team. Now, the paperwork is also interesting. I am a reading teacher. I've probably read every book there ever was on reading and reading problems, how to solve it, the kids that aren't getting it, let's figure it out. I could sit and talk all day long about kids. I love people. I love I speak children's languages, and I guess I'm jumping all around here. But when you're so dedicated, like I always knew that I would be a teacher, I had no idea how those skills transferred over to the business. I would teach math, but not on purpose if I didn't have to. I usually had a partner that we trade with, and they teach math and science, and I teach reading and language arts. And I work for Bailey officially 2 days a week, and I would work in the school system 3 days a week. And I had no idea that the two were tied together so much. When kids say when they're in school, when am I ever going to learn this? Well, guess what? You are going to use it. The math skills was the bookkeeping was when we started out, we didn't know any different. And Bailey had QuickBooks online, and then we discovered there was a QuickBooks on your phone, which is QuickBooks. What is it?
I don't even know. It's all, and then there's also a QuickBooks desktop. There's three different QuickBooks, and I think we were on maybe all three or two out of three, and it was a mess. So you had a big learning curve for the bookkeeping, because at the end of a hot day, I was not messing with it. I was throwing everything down on the table and going for the shower and just going to sleep. So you were kind of handling the bookkeeping, and you still are doing that on a crazy different scale than it was.
It was a huge learning curve to me, because I was used to doing reading and language arts, and it didn't help that all the QuickBooks, when they came together, that doubled. We just started out with a bad QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. And it was, I even went back to using an Excel spreadsheet, because then I knew the numbers were right, and eventually got wise and just opened up a whole new account in QuickBooks, and then QuickBooks and I became friends. So that was interesting. And also having to keep up with the paperwork. And, we didn't know anything, how to put it together. Like, did I put them in order by date? Did I put them in order by like fuel versus cost of goods sold? And what the heck was cost of goods sold? It was, but I'm extremely persistent if there's something that I want to do. And I wanted nothing more than, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but for you to be successful and to be helpful, and so I was going to learn it come hell or high water, that I was going to figure this out. And as I do with education, I talked to everybody who had a QuickBooks account, tried to figure that out. And eventually we did. And I was really proud, because it took so long. Shouldn't have been that hard, but it was. And that's with everything in life, whether, you're in business or teaching or design, whatever. It's perseverance and loving what you're doing. And at that time, I was like, I would rather do this than teach. And I am a kid person, and that's saying a lot, because it would be hard for me to leave that. But then when I think of leaving teaching, I think, oh my gosh, listen, every kid needs a cheerleader in their court. Every kid needs a second chance if they mess up. And at one of my schools that I teach at, it's a lower socioeconomic group, and they need so much. And I fill a void there. I love them, and if I can help them get to the next level, if I can help them read, or if even with social skills, if I can help with that, that's what I do. So could I leave it? Could I leave one for the other? That's been a big struggle. I know Bailey's wanted me to come to work full time. And thankfully, I have taught long enough that I get insurance for teaching 3 days a week. And so I don't know, as a mom, as a teacher, it's fun to watch them grow. So many of the conferences that we go to, like right now, we're doing a book club. I mean, that's a reading and language arts teacher. And who thought I'd be in a book club with a bunch of boys? I am a boy mom, truly. So that applies. And, you teach the kids conflict resolution, which you have conflicts in anything in life. So, it's been interesting to watch that part grow. And I don't know if you remember this, Bailey, but the first time, your biggest job at the time, it was a very loyal client, and they had something they were upset about with the fence. It had to do with the fence, and you had not wanted to put in the fence, but you went ahead and did it because they were so, they were loyal customers. And anyway, they didn't like how the fence was done. You didn't want to do the fence, and it was at a really high frustration point with you. And,
right.
And so you asked me to go with you to talk it out with them. It was a really great experience. It was watching you grow to the next level and watching you figure out that this is a solvable problem and solutions. Lots of people just complain, but they should really be looking at it as, how can we solve this problem so it's like a win-win? Nobody walks away feeling badly.
Right.
I think that's really one of your strengths. And so now you wouldn't think twice about going to solve something like that, because as we know, sometimes when you put something in, if they didn't like it, you have to work it out, and you have to really listen to them first. And it's what's the saying? Something about listen first, and then really try to understand the other person and what they're looking for.
That's a lot of people say listen twice, talk once, or something like that.
Yes.
Now I remember that. Wow, that was a long time ago. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, she was a very sweet customer. But yeah, she was upset. And it's funny, that was only a couple $100 compared to now we're dealing with jobs that are $250,000 now. And when that happens with one of those, if, a little thing happens with one of those, I've learned how to approach it. And I've learned how to also coach the other person who may be frustrated at the time through their frustrations in the moment. And it kind of feels weird, a 25-year-old coaching maybe a 50 or 60-year-old client how to control their emotions in the moment. But it's that's definitely been a skill that I've learned. And I still get anxiety over it sometimes, because my biggest goal is I want these projects to turn out great. These clients are investing money. I want them to be so happy. But at the end of the day, my first words that come out of my mouth when I visit a property, if a customer is, upset or has big concerns, I say, hey, look, ma'am, we're here. most people, if someone's not going to sell someone, they're not even going to show up. They're going to return your call. But first step, we're here. We're going to make this right. And I promise you we'll do whatever it takes to get it right. And then it usually changes the tone of the meeting. And then they speak respectful. And then it's like, boom, just get it done. Because, some people get in a panic. I mean, there's a lot of things going in everybody's lives. And there's always other things going on that you don't see. And they could get really frustrated or really mad because of something they're holding in. And this is just one little thing that set them off. But learning how to do conflict resolution has been important for our business, and especially the scale of customization that we do and the large jobs that we do. There's a lot of emotions that go into it. There's long, hard days that we are out there spending, working our butt off to make it right. And also on the client side, they work really, really hard for that money that they're investing in the property. So everybody's working really hard to make sure that their projects come out just as we want them to, and if not better. And so that was a fun learning experience. And the lady was very sweet about it. And she was like, I think she was kind of impressed. She was like, this is cool. We turned this into a good learning experience for you, because she knew I was very young in business. She was actually one of my first customers ever, and so she was super sweet, super nice. But yeah, that was a fun experience that I learned quite early on.
And at our company, we want everyone to feel like I feel when I drive up and say, oh my gosh, this is my yard. We have dream boxes. It's been fun to figure those things out too, that we're not just, if I could build my own school and hire teachers that are totally kid oriented, that want to go to the next level, I know what it would look like. And I love about our company that it truly, we want to be able to provide for our workers. We want to treat them, like their family. We want the best for them. We want them to learn and grow. And I'm going to put this one out there, because right now, as our book club of all boys and one mama, we're reading Dale Carnegie's How to Stop Worrying. And if you all have not picked up a copy of that, it's only $9 from Amazon and one credit on Audibles. But it really puts things in perspective. At the end of the day, we're not money driven, and we're more family oriented and want everybody to be okay. I know that sounds really Pollyanna-ish, but it's true. And we do worry a lot. And one thing the business consultant Sid said that I really liked was, sometimes you can teach your customers things like how to make the world better, not on like mentioning things that you've learned in the book, or putting things in perspective. Because sometimes if a customer is angry, like you were saying, and they blow up, to bring it down, to de-escalate the situation, and then to put it this, as we say in education, this is not a hill to die on. We're going to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that part about it, because it's important. We're all in this together, and we are stronger together.
Absolutely. You want to say something real quick?
That's okay. I'll keep talking. You know me.
Yeah, no worries. And our tagline, our motto is serving families through designing and building outdoor spaces. And when I tell that to some of our new guys that join, or girls that join our team, it doesn't just mean our customers. Like, yes, that is totally towards our customers as well. But we are serving our families. When you come to work and you do your job, do it well, get your paycheck, earning that money and taking that home to your family, supplying the housing, the food, extras like fun activities, whatever, with that money, like that, you are serving your own family. Not only that, to take it even like a deeper level, you are serving the other families around you, like your coworkers' families. We can, as a business, just as myself, I can't do nearly what we're doing on my own. Everybody is helping support each other to bring the mission forward and bring our company forward and be different. And our starting wages are quite a bit higher than most other companies, and that's just what we stand for. Like, there's so much money, that more money that we could make. And I mean, there's just so much potential out there as well. It's not driven. Obviously, money's important, making sure that we're making the right profit margins so that way everything can run smoothly. We can reinvest in the right equipment, reinvest back in the company, all that stuff. That's very important. And we do watch those. We're very intentional about that. But people come first, family comes first. It was really cool. One of my experiences, this was my first time I've ever done this before. I hired a new gentleman through Fort Myers Garden Service, and his name's Joshua. I read in Dave Ramsey's book. Most people think of Dave Ramsey as like financial advisor, but he's a phenomenal business owner. He's built his business to be amazing. He does like coaching seminars, and as well as he's written a few books. One of the books that I've read was Entree Leadership, and it's phenomenal. But in there, part of the interview process, the last interview that he does, he takes the candidate and their immediate family out to dinner. So if they have a spouse and their kids as well. And part of that is to see if their family's crazy, because if he's got a crazy family, then he's always going to be bringing that drama home from home into work, and they don't want that. And so they'll literally nix people for that. But I got to do that. I got to experience that. And this gentleman's family was a beautiful family. It was his wife and a 9-month-old baby. And it was special. It was so cool. And he kept saying over and over, like, man, this is really cool. I can't believe we're doing this. Like, you have me so sold. Like, I want this job, like, a lot. And it was really cool. Obviously, for him to say that, I was like, that made me feel good. But to offer that to his family, to purchase them a meal and just sit with them, that was really cool. That was really interesting. And so as we grow and we learn more and become better and better, that's the type of family, this type of business that we want to be. We're very family oriented, but we also want to be realistic too, and make sure our guys understand, we're not a charity. We are a business. We still need to operate, do our part. Everybody pulls this big old cart down the road, and that's how we provide for all our families. So it's been a really cool 5-6 years that we've had. And we've all grown a lot. I've grown a lot individually as a leader. Sid is my business coach. He's been with us from pretty much mostly the beginning. And we're actually shooting a podcast with him as well. So you'll get to hear a little bit of his wisdom and get to know him a little bit. But he's been phenomenal. He's helped. I feel like we've been in business for 40 years, but it's really only been about 5 or 6. And we've had a lot of wisdom with Sid and some other coaches as well that we've had. But yeah, I'll go on talking forever and ever. Mom, what else do you got for us?
Well, I wanted to talk about the grant that I wrote for to Dean Darling to get butterfly plants, and yeah. I'm at a school that's very wealthy, or it's at the higher end, not all wealthy, and the other school that I'm at is very low socioeconomically, and I didn't want one school to have something that the other school didn't. And so at my school that is more affluent, the butterfly garden ended up in being a shade garden. And it had to be, the stipulation was it had to be all Florida plants. So it was interesting trying to, talk about which ones were all Florida that would look good most of the year, at least during the school year, and wouldn't be dying off. And then the other place was at the other school was all totally sunlight, absolutely no shade, nothing. And to figure it out, it was kind of fun, and Katie did a great job of, we'd go back and forth about plants. What about this one? Does it flower? Because you want the kids to notice the changes too. And we were going back and forth about what to put in. And it was a little bit nerve-wracking because you're having $1,500 with it. You definitely don't want to make a mistake with, and you want it to look very nice. And Katie just did a phenomenal job of figuring out what we were going to do. But the best part was, at my low SES school, my kids got to be involved. The kids that were in the Honor Society, they were out there working with our workers, and the workers only know me as the bookkeeper, or the one chasing them is the for receipts. And I am team mom, but they've never seen me in my other element. So they were seeing me how I am with children, and they were out there, digging and putting out mulch, and I'm out there in my high heels helping them. And it's like, at our company, we all do it. There's not anybody who doesn't get involved. And we have one really great worker, Julio. And Julio he's from Guatemala, right?
Yeah, he's from Guatemala.
He's from Guatemala, and all our people are on the books. All that's good. But he actually came here to work for 10 years, and then he left his family and his 4 children, and he's going to work here for 10 years and then take the money. Everything gets sent back to Guatemala, but he should be set for the rest of his life for the money that he's made here for 10 years. But he had never been able to express that before. We had no idea. And my children started conversing in Spanish to Julio, and to see his face light up, and he would point to a little girl and say, that's what his daughter looks like, and that's what his son looks like. And they were translating between Julio and I, and they were all involved. And it just was a whole new experience for the kids as well as Julio. And Julio said, I am going to be here for 10 years. And he was like making a commitment. And it was just really precious for my two worlds to collide, and what an impact it made on my students.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was a fun project that we worked together on. It was awesome of Ding Darling. It was Ding Darling who donated all that money, right?
Yes, Ding Darling.
Yeah, that was awesome of them to do that for the schools, and they were super nice.
And my principal, one of them said, thank you. I feel a healing and something special going on here to be able to walk by and see the kids enjoying it. So that was super cool, because landscaping can make a difference. You see how it brightens people's day, and it
really does. I mean, it's a huge part of my life, and it's so funny when we meet with new clients, and they're it's like an innocent child. They don't know how great their landscaping can be yet, and so they're like, yeah. Some customers are. Most of our customers come to us very excited, but some customers like, yeah, I want to do this, and this. And we're like, wait, hold on. We need a little bit more energy from you. Look at these different within your budget that you're talking about. Look what we can do here, and they don't know what they can have. And the amount of relaxation that you can get and getting your mind in a peaceful place and healing that you get from being outdoors and just enjoying is incredible. And a lot of people struggle to recognize that. So that's part of my mission, is to not only serve the families, but help people enjoy their life a little bit more through landscaping and through the outdoors.
Leaving a little sparkle wherever you go.
How about that? I love it. Good little wing mom, I'll call you. All right, Mom. Well, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for sharing a little bit of our story and how it relates to you. Anything else before we go?
I think that's everything. I thank you for enriching my world and teaching me so much about landscaping, because who knew? Who knew? Thank you.
Absolutely. Love you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Love you. Kiss my grandbaby.
I will. Love you. Bye.
Does she need to see me?
We're going on date night, so maybe tomorrow.
Woo, woo.
We hope you've enjoyed this series. Don't forget to subscribe, because before you know it, we'll be back with another great conversation. The Landscape Cafe is a production of Pure Landscaping and the Niche Podcast Network. Learn more about Bailey, Katie, and the team by visiting purelandscaping.com. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. And don't forget, the best place to rate or follow the show is at thelandscapecafe.com.